One of my favorite classic movies is Citizen Kane, Orson Welles' genius portrayal of a man who wanted everything the world could offer: money, power, beautiful women, control, and an ability to live above it all. In reality, Citizen Kane is a modern-day parable that a person can have it all and be totally empty. The last word on Charles Foster Kane's lips was the name of his childhood sleigh, remembering and longing for the uncomplicated days of his youth. Whenever I hear Jesus' words in today's gospel, I think of that movie and the lesson that the Lord wants to teach us, his followers. Jesus' words do make me feel a bit uncomfortable, wondering whether or not I am too attached to the things of this world. Jesus, however, is a master of helping us to gain perspective, to reflect whether our lives are solely based here in this world with its passing illusions of happiness, rather than on building his kingdom here on earth and the life of the world to come. Today's readings are ultimately not about making us feel badly for having possessions, but rather how we use those possessions in light of God's love for us. Isaiah's words were spoken to the Jewish people when they felt far from the love of God. Yet, the prophet is able to instill a sense of hope by giving God's people an image of his love. Can a mother forget her infant, be without tenderness for the child in her womb? Even should she forget, I shall never forget you. What powerful words of comfort and assurance. This love of which Isaiah speaks is one that endures through all ages, as eternal as God himself. And this love, stretching back to the creative love of God in Genesis, is one that invites a response from each one of us. In today's gospel, Jesus asks us to put a priority on responding to God's love by putting our yes to God first above all other things. St. Thomas Aquinas, who wrote tomes of theology, near the end of his life, said that it was all just straw compared to realizing God's love for him. A man whose theology still guides the church today found that it all paled when he fully realized the depths of God's love. An incredible statement by this brilliant saint theologian. And how do we respond to this great love of God? We do this by mirroring God's love in our world with our own lives, by showing that love to our brothers and sisters, those who are close to us, and those who may be unknown, yet still our family. This Wednesday, we begin the solemn season of Lent. We will be marked with ashes that remind us that we are not created to be here eternally, but that we are made to eventually be reunited with God in heaven. Jesus' message of God's love is that God wills for us to be eternally with him. This holy season also marks the beginning of our annual Catholic appeal, by which we concretely make God's love manifest in our care for our brothers and sisters throughout our Western Massachusetts area. Through our many ministries, the loving hand of God is extended to the preborn, the youth, the aged, the homeless and the hungry, the forgotten, the neglected, and the immigrant. Our theme for this appeal this year is one family, many gifts. Indeed, as we strive to bring the love of and care of God to so many who desperately need to experience the divine presence, we bring the love and care of God's Church of Springfield to so many, remembering Jesus' own mandate of love. To mothers who need help in raising their children, to those who are homebound and hungry, to our children in our schools and religious education programs, we truly bring the light of God's love, even to the darkest of situations. One family, many gifts, expresses the ways in which we are united in God's grace with one another and use those talents God has given to us to lift up those who've been beaten down by life, needing God's healing presence. As I travel throughout our diocese, I'm able to witness the places and programs that give to so many hope that they desperately need. And I see lives that are transformed because of our programs funded by our annual Catholic Appeal that give them a second chance to lift themselves out of dire situations. What we can accomplish as we work together in one family with our many gifts. I would like to thank you for your generosity to our annual Catholic Appeal by assuring you that you do make a difference here in our corner of the world. Just as Jesus came to bring us hope and new life, so we extend his ministry to all parts of our diocese, bringing Jesus' uplifting message. Today's words of our responsorial psalm make both a good reflection on Jesus' words in the gospel and preparing us for Ash Wednesday and Lent. Only in God is my soul at rest. From him comes my salvation. He is my rock and my salvation, my stronghold. I shall not be disturbed at all. Please pray for the continuing success of our annual Catholic Appeal, for our donors, our organizations and programs, and for those whom we are able to help because of your generosity. May God bless you.